The dark portal opens and the rush to level 70 is on.
True.
But is that really the best thing to do? Hello everyone, my name is Icosiol, and in this video I'm going to show you my plan for increasing reputation with the more important factions in the Burning Crusade while progressing to the coveted level 70.
Coveted?
In this guide, I want to share with you all the strategy to leveling for the Burning Crusade that I will be using that puts more importance on reputation gain than actually speed leveling.
We gotta get that rep.
The goal of this method of leveling is to reach Revered or as close as possible to it for as many of the important factions available at the start of this expansion. Racing your way to level 70 will often spoil more efficient routes to gaining reputation with the new factions in Outland.
See, this is what I think that we should do, because, like, we're gonna hit 70 no matter what, who gives a fuck? But, like, I don't want to have to farm normal mode dungeons. Like, I want to just be able to fucking go into heroics directly, because also, like, if I do heroics later on, like, I want heroics to be hard. Because if they're not hard, there's literally nothing else I have to look forward to. Like, in terms of PvE content. I remember the heroics on release were hard, and I don't want them. I know they're probably not going to be that hard, right? I get that. But, like, I want to at least have that experience, man. I want to have that experience. Get ready to be disappointed then. It's called, it's hard. Remember the song? Hard like heroic? Exactly.
At certain points in this guide, I will suggest to complete specific quests. There are far too many to actually show on screen, so for those, please click on the links provided in the video description below to find which ones I am referring to. Also understand that when I say to run a dungeon, it is to fully clear the dungeon of all enemies to maximize your reputation gains while in there.
I think that the way that you should not fully clear a dungeon every single time. What you should do is you should make the most optimized route that takes as close to 12 minutes as possible. Because you can only run 5 dungeons an hour, which means that, of course, that's going to be 12 minutes inside if that's 5 times an hour. And you should be as efficient as possible with that. Wrong? Boss experience is fat. Yeah, but, like, I don't think you should go out of your way to kill every single little trash mob if it's not an efficient dungeon route, and dungeon route kill, or the dungeon run is taking 15 minutes anyway. It's more of a better idea to just be efficient with your kills and to just immediately go through and get your kills and reset because you have a better route. Like, trust me, guys, like, I used to make WoW guides for, like, optimizing this shit. Like, trust me, like, I know what I'm talking about with this.
Lastly, please keep in mind that in many cases, you will stop earning reputation in a dungeon, or with specific quest, and leave you 1 point shy of reaching the next reputation level.
Like Honored
or for example,
Revered.
when I say to do something until you reach Honored, you will likely still be friendly and 1 point shy of Honored. That just means you're ready for the next step. Now with all that said, let's get this video started. The very first faction you can start earning reputation for is Honorhold or Thrallmar, which depends on whether you're Horde or the Alliance. Since I'm a filthy Alliance player, I will be pushing for Honorhold reputation. On launch day, the Hellfire Peninsula is going to be flooded with people trying to complete quests, which will create a massive bottleneck and really slow things down. That's okay though, because what you want to do is actually get into the Hellfire Citadel dungeon called the Blood Furnace. Both the Ramparts and Blood Furnace award Honorhold or Thrallmar reputation until you reach Honored, but since Blood Furnace awards more reputation, we're going to make that one our priority. If you fully...
I think Blood Furnace is going to be better because the mobs are higher level, and also because, like, you're probably going to hit cap if you're spamming Ramparts, because the dungeon is so fast. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Trash hits harder, we'll just heal harder. And also, like, bro, we're going in this, like, Esfand has, like, Esfand has spent 2 years looting himself every piece of gear in Classic WoW. And I have spent 2 years looting myself every piece of gear in Classic WoW. And McConnell has spent 2 years having me loot him every single piece of gear from Classic WoW. We are going to be fucking fine in Blood Furnace. It's going to be okay, guys.
Clear the Blood Furnace, you will earn 750 reputation per run, which means you'll run this dungeon 12 times. You will earn a total of 9,000 reputation, so your reputation bar will say 5,999 rep at friendly.
Okay.
Once that's accomplished, you will need to complete quest to officially reach Honored. This is when you will start doing the pre-quest in order to unlock the quest for the Ramparts, which leads to more quests in the Blood Furnace. That means you will run both the Ramparts and Blood Furnace one more time while not receiving any reputation in doing so.
Okay.
That's not a problem though, because it also means you're not missing out on any reputation gains in reaching Revered.
That's smart.
Once you have completed all those runs and completed the quest for them,
so I guess we could do Ramparts at the beginning, but we don't turn in the quest until we cap out on rep. And then we go and we turn in the quest, and then we hit Honored. Next level sweaty? No, bro, this is the opposite of sweaty. Because we're doing this so we don't have to sweat.
Now complete all but the Cenarian Expedition quest in the Hellfire Zone, which will earn you approximately 10,685 more rep.
That's big good.
This puts you at a total of 19,685 reputation earned, which should show as Honored at 10,685 rep with.
And so if I'm a human, so I get 10% more, I'm basically gonna hit. So that's 10,000. So 10% more than that is 1,060. And so I will almost have Revered with that just by doing all the quest lines.
1,315 left to reach Revered. All that's needed to do now to reach Revered is fully clear the Shattered Halls when you reach level 70.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
So it's time to put this rep
Dude, I can't wait to do
pause. At this point, you should be level 62 or close to it. But there's one last thing we need to do before we move on to the next step.
What do I do?
And that is to visit Shatrath, get our flight path, and choose Eldor or Scryer.
Oh, okay.
Don't do anything beyond that.
All right.
And now, let's start step 2.
What's step 2?
Your next faction to work on is the Cenarian Expedition in
these
Zangar
pussies.
Marsh. We don't want to do any quest yet, as they're going to help us get through Honored, so instead we can choose between 2 options. The first is to fully clear both the Slave Pens and Underbog dungeons until you reach Honored. Underbog is the better dungeon to repeat, as you will earn more reputation with the Cenarian Expedition.
So we're going to do Slave Pens. Slave Pens has more mobs in it that we can AoE down more easily. And also, it's a better dungeon to speedrun. Underbog, I think, sucks dick. I don't like Underbog. I don't like the name. I think it's stupid. And yeah, we're gonna do Slave Pens. Slave Pens, yeah, the mobs are easier. It's more simple. It's more streamlined. It's 1,000 times better.
And take about 9 runs to reach Honored. You will also acquire Sanguine Hibiscus, which will help you increase your reputation with the Sporgar. Once you reach Honored, you're ready
also
to
need
begin
those, by the way, guys.
Quest. But before I talk about...
Also, I want to say, for that, I want to just... I didn't mean to pause it again. I will be accepting tomorrow. I'll be accepting all items. Any of those things, I'll be accepting any of that. That's noble. I do what I can, man.
Let's talk about your second option to reach Honored, which is farming creatures in Zangar Marsh. Located in this area of Zangar Marsh are many boglords and other creatures that will help you earn some rep with the Sporgar.
Yeah, you're gonna hit.
That's not your focus.
No, it's not. Stupid.
What
Sporgar's
you're doing
dumb.
is farming these mobs for unidentified plant parts to turn into Lorana Tharwell, who is at the Cenarian Refuge. Turning in 10 of these will earn you 250 rep, but they only grant reputation until you reach Honored. That means you can
I will be accepting unidentified plant parts as well.
Turn this quest in up to 36 times, which equals 360 plant parts you need to farm.
That's all I need.
If you don't want to farm for these, you can simply purchase them from the auction house. But understand that early on in the expansion, they will likely be limited numbers and the cost will be high. When you turn in unidentified plant parts, you will receive a package of identified plants.
Amazing.
And these packages have a small chance of containing an uncatalogued species. Hold on to all the uncatalogued species until you reach that last point of friendly, and then turn them in to get a nice boost into Honored.
Really?
Once you have reached Honored, you will now focus on...
Wait, so can I pay to win this? Can I pay to win that and just get a bunch of those quests and turn them in over and over? Yes.
Completing the Cenarian Expedition quest in Hellfire Peninsula, Zangar Marsh, and Terrakar Forest. During this time, there are quests for the Slave Pens and Underbog, so make sure you get those if you haven't done them already. If you opted to farm for unidentified plant parts, try to only run each dungeon once, as the creatures in there will not offer any reputation except for the later mobs in the Underbog past friendly. Once all of these quests are complete, and you have turned in all the Coilfang armaments you have obtained, you should have reached Revered with the Cenarian Expedition, and likely have reached level 63.
Fuck yeah.
At this time, that's the next you should have already gone to Shattrath and completed the introductory quests that lead you to your decision of choosing your allegiance to the Aldor or Scryer factions.
That's where I went back in the day.
Those will be the only quest you will complete at this time if you haven't done so already. For those who chose the Aldor, you're going to farm for marks of Kil'jaeden from the cultists found near Auchindoun in the Bone Waste. These marks only grant reputation from neutral through friendly, so you're going to farm for 220 of these.
I don't know if he mentioned this, I wasn't really paying attention, but there's like a quest that you turn these in for, and you want to turn these in while you're leveling, because your first turn in gives you experience. For your marks of Kil'jaeden, the signets for, and like the arcane tomes or the fell armaments.
Draenei, you only need to farm for 100.
No, I'm gonna do it.
If you're a blood elf, you need 340 marks.
People say how to optimize the fun out of the game. I actually think this is fun. Like, this is actually really cool because like we're figuring out like the best way to do it and everything. Like this is cool, man. Speeding everything up is not fun in my opinion. Oh man, I think it's really fun. Like, I love being able to know that I'm killing 3 birds with 1 stone.
For those that chose the Scryers, you're going to be farming for Sun Fury signets from the Blood Elves found here in Terra.
Bro, like, this is actually the worst place to farm, because these mobs will stand and cast and just turret you down. Like, this is probably the worst place ever to farm anything. It's so bad.
Our forest. The same numbers apply, except if you're a Blood Elf, you only need 100 signets, while Draenei will need 340 signets.
Yeah.
By the time you're done farming for these, you should have reached level 64 or be close to it.
Okay.
And your reputation should be 1 point shy of Honored. If you don't want to farm for all of these marks or signets, you can instead purchase what you need from the auction house.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
We will come back to our Aldor and Scryer rep
I'll probably
a bit
just
later,
keep farming
so
slave pens.
For now, let's move on to step 4.
So I feel like if I can finish that on the first day, I'll be happy. Like, if I can just finish that on the first day, I'll be totally fucking good.
You're around level 64, you want to begin working on your lower city rep. And just like the Cenarian Expedition, you have 2 options. The first is to chain run full clears of the Auchinai Crypts dungeon. It awards 700 reputation per clear, which means you need to run this dungeon 13 times to reach Honored.
Jesus
There are 2 quests associated with the Crypts, but they award rep for the Shattar, and the one called Auchindoun is out of our reach at this time.
Fuck.
The quest Everything Will Be Alright can be completed and turned in now, as it won't negatively impact your rate of Shattar rep gain later.
Okay.
Your second option is to collect Arakoa feathers, which you will turn into Vikax, who is located here in Shattrath. If you're not yet level 64, I highly suggest you farm for these feathers, which drop frequently off the Arakoa mobs in this area of Terracar Forest before you run the crypts.
I love having, like, one thing I thought was so cool about BC is, like, you had these items that you could go and farm out, and they would give you rep, and you could, like, fucking solo farm rep. Like, BC, one thing that it did so well is it gave solo players alternatives for group content.
30 Arakoa feathers equals 250 rep. So, for every 90 TBC you turn in, will reduce how many times you need to run Auchinai Crypts by 1. Alternatively, you can purchase an obscene amount of these, 1,080 to be exact,
That's nothing.
instead of running the dungeon, but early in the expansion, you might find this to be rather expensive. When you maximize your reputation at Friendly, you want to now begin completing all of the level appropriate lower city quests to help make a dent into Honored.
Okay.
Completing all of these quests will earn you 5,950 reputation with the lower city, which now has us at a total of 14,950 reputation earned, and looks like 5,950 into Honored.
Okay.
Because the Auchinai Crypts doesn't offer much XP, you might still be level 64, but likely close to 65.
I'm probably not going to do that then, because, like, if we can just buy gear or buy the things to bypass it, who gives a fuck? Because, like, I'm not going to go out, like, the most important thing is to be efficient.
Now let's put our lower city grind on pause and move on to step 5. The Mana Tombs is an excellent source of XP if fully cleared, and that's what you're going to do until you reach Honored.
Yeah.
Each run will earn you 990 reputation, which means...
See, Mana Tombs is good because it's a circle. You see, like, you go all the way around, and it's a circle. So, like, a circle, what that means is, like, you start at one point, and then you go all the way around, and it's the same point that you started at, because that's the circle. It's a square. It's a squarular circle.
It will take 10 runs to reach your goal. Be sure to complete the quest associated with the Mana Tombs, but do not turn them in until you reach 5,999 in friendly to make a dent into Honored.
That makes sense.
Once you have reached Honored, you're going to head over to Nagrand and complete the Consortium quest found in that zone. You will earn another 2,010 reputation.
Fun fact for these Consortium quests is as you're running over to Nagrand, the neutral Elex, the wild Elex that are neutral around in the area, have almost a 100% chance to drop the tusks. You need 3 tusks for one of the quests that's going to be in the Consortium area, so you might as well just kill those on the way over. And then another NPC that you want to kill inside of Nagrand is the brown elementals, the wind elementals, because they also drop a quest item that gives you a group quest at the end of it. Like, I know, like, every quest in here. Like, I could do a quest. Like, I would probably get top 10 on the server because I haven't optimized it super well. But, like, I know all the quests in BC. I could do it very, very fast, man. But, like, for a lot of you guys that might be confused about this guide and you just want, like, a fucking TLDR, do dungeons until you stop getting rep, then do the quests. That's basically what this guide is.
From those quests, which will put you at 12,360 rep earned, which looks like 3,360 into Honored. There are more Consortium quests to do when you reach higher levels, and speaking of higher levels, this is the part where you might have fallen a little bit behind. If you're not 66 by the time you reach Honored, you will enter the optional Step 6, which is the catch-up phase.
I love ketchup.
This begins the more painful part of the process. It's around this time you may find yourself lagging a bit in level, and so in keeping with the theme of this guide, I want to show you how you can maximize your reputation earnings while continuing to gain XP. So, here is your priority. If you're not level 66 and have not completed the Consortium quest in Nagrand, you should finish those now.
100%.
If those quests are done, you will want to complete your Kernai or Maghar quest. If both of those are complete, you will want to kill the cultists at Kilsaro Fortress for Marks.
Bro, the Kernai, like, listen, you know what the Kernai give you? Bro, that gives you a special deer. Who cares? Like, who cares? Like, it's not that big of a deal. You get a special deer. Like, I remember that was, like, one of the first things I did whenever I hit 70 back in 2007, is I farmed out and I got my special deer. And then after I finished getting it, I had nothing else to show for it.
To kill Jaden if you're not yet honored with the Aldor. If all of that is done and you're not yet level 66, you're going to kill Nagrand ogres for 3 things. Obsidian warbeads for Consortium rep. Each kill grants 10 rep for the Kernai or Maghar, and they have a chance to drop Oshugun crystal powder for Hila research tokens.
Yeah, you want to get that.
Do
the first turn in gives you experience.
Reach level 66, and once you reach level 66, you're ready for step 7. It's time to go back to Azeroth.
Wait a second. Yo, what about Ring of Blood? What about Ring of Blood? Like, you should definitely do Ring of Blood, especially if you're in a group. That shit is easy. The only thing that's annoying is, like, doing it on launch day is probably going to be super troll because groups are going to be trying to fuck with each other.
To the Caverns of Time to start our grind with the Keepers of Time faction. Start and complete the Escape from Durnhold questline, which will award 6,000 reputation once complete.
6,000?
To reach Honored, you'll need to run Durnhold 3 more times, but that means you need to kill all the enemies over in Terran Mill before you begin the final encounter to maximize your reputation earning potential.
Probably just do it 4 times.
It's not important for you to run this dungeon more than once though, since you're going to be forced to run the Black Morass to reach Revered anyways.
Black Morass.
If you're feeling gutsy, or you have a group of higher level level players, you can choose to chain run the opening of the Dark Portal until you reach Revered.
Yeah.
Each clear of the Black Morass will earn you roughly 1,110 reputation
God,
with the Keepers
so
of Time,
bad.
which means it's about 11 runs to reach Revered.
Oh, man. Actually, that's not that bad, because you get the Hourglass of the Unraveler, which is from the second boss, which is a really, really good trinket. And there's also like a one-handed sword from there that's pretty decent too. The two-handed sword from Heroic, it's called like the Quantum Blade or something like that, is actually a hunter weapon. It gives, I think, stamina, and it also gives like 101 attack power. So those would be good upgrades. Lantro's Shifting Sword. Yeah. I thought there was like one that was made out of sand or some shit. Maybe it's from another boss.
We'll be back here in a few more levels, so it's up to you if you want to do this now or later. If you're going to do it later, it's now time to move on to Step 8.
What's that?
You're likely still level 66, and you want to collect the available quest for Seethic Halls and fully clear that dungeon about 6 times to reach Revered with the lower city. You can turn in the quest once they're complete to give you a slight boost as well.
At Seethic Halls? I don't know, man. Like, Seethic Halls at 66? Dude, I thought that some of those mobs were like 71. What are you, a pussy? Okay, if it's only 68, then yeah, we gotta farm the fuck out of this. Seethic Halls is it's also a circular dungeon, which is good. I thought the end mobs were 71.
Behind the final boss is the Shadow Labyrinth key.
Pretty sure they are.
And you will need that
I think you
for
guys
your
are wrong.
Karazhan attunement very soon. Your goal is to reach both Revered and obtain level 67, so you're back in the catch-up phase until you meet those two goals. By fully clearing Seethic Halls 6 times, you will have earned around 6,210 rep with the lower city.
Okay.
Add that to the 14,950 you have already earned, and you will have a total of 21,160 rep.
So if the lower city, wait a second. So if lower city, the rep, I'm going to pull this up real quick. Yeah, like this ring right here. Look, check it out. Y'all can see that, right? Let me make sure y'all can see that. Yeah, that's a good ass fucking ring. So maybe we should just farm Seethic Halls to make sure that we get this ring. Yeah, that's a good ass fucking ring. I phase 1 bis? Yeah. We just farm this out. How much does the dungeon clear give out of this?
Puts you at 160 rep into Revered. Now get to level 67 and you're ready for Step 9.
1,000?
At level 67, you're going to head over to Blade's Edge Mountains and complete all of the Cenarian Expedition quests that are now available at your level.
Not doing that.
You're likely already revered with the Expedition, but you're doing this because you need the XP and it gets you closer to Exalted, which you will likely want anyways.
All right.
Once that's done, you're going over to Netherstorm to complete the Cenarian Expedition quest there, as well as the Consortium quest in Midrealm, Stormspire, and Area 52. If you haven't turned in your Manitomb's quest, you can do so now.
Yeah, because you're already hitting the mark.
When you're done with those quests, you're likely not yet level 68, so it's back to farming Obsidian War Beads or running the Black Morass for both XP and working towards Revered or Exalted, depending on where you left off. Once you reach level 68, you're on to the next and very fun Step 10.
It's not fun, is it?
At level 68, the quest line to begin your Karazhan attunement becomes available.
No, it's not.
Doing this now not only serves to earn you some excellent XP,
That's
but
true.
will also allow you to be ready to enter Karazhan the moment you reach level 70.
That's real.
I go into detail about each step of this attunement quest line in my Raid Attunement video.
I probably should watch that,
so when
I
you
forgot.
reach this part, go ahead and give that a look to prepare yourself. Part of this quest will send you back to the Black Morass, so if you're already revered, you won't have to run it any more times unless you're trying to reach Exalted now.
Alrighty.
Near the end of the quest line, you'll either need to be level 70 with a flying mount, a warlock to summon you, or be a druid with flight form at level 68 to get you up to the Arcatraz, so keep that in mind. It's not necessary for you to complete the Karazhan attunement just yet, so if you can't get to the Arcatraz, go ahead and move on to the final step.
Yeah, I don't know how we can get up there without being max level. I feel like we just gotta wait. Can't summon. Yeah, you can't summon in Netherstorm. It's like the Nether disruption makes it to where you can't summon or some shit. It's basically so you have to buy a flying mount. That's what it comes down to. Flying only at 70? Yeah, the only people that can get flying before 70 are druids, and they can get it at 68. Two-person mounts? There are no two-person mounts in Burning Crusade.
Now beginning the XP grind to 70, but we want to attack this as we have everything else. So it's time to unpause our Aldor or...
Bro, that... Yeah, bro, you're right. Because what they're gonna... I forgot, because they're gonna put in all the shit into the store, right? So yeah, whenever they put in all the gear into the store, and then we can buy the Frostmourne and kill Illidan with it. Just like Arthas did.
Scryer rep grind, which was left at Honored.
Yeah.
For Aldor, you're going to complete the quests that are now available in Nagrand, Netherstorm, and Shadowmoon Valley.
Okay.
Those that choose to be allied with the Scryers will have quests to complete in Netherstorm and Shadowmoon Valley only. Outside of these quests, your best bet to increase your reputation with the Aldor is by farming the mobs located at Death's Door in Blade's Edge Mountains.
It's by farming Yawkshans.
The mobs are dense here and have the potential to drop many marks of Sargeras and Fell Armaments.
It's Fell Armaments
for
that you want.
For those that chose the Scryers, your best option for
Sun
Fury Signets and Arcane Tomes is by farming the mobs located at Manaforge Binar in Netherstorm. If farming endless mobs isn't your thing, you can instead rotate between Tempest Keep dungeons for Shatar rep and potential drops of Marks of Sargeras, Fell Armaments, Arcane Tomes, and Sun Fury Signets. Of those three, it's Botanica that offers the most rep for the Shatar.
Botanica has the most mobs in it. That's why there would always be bots farming Botanica. Mechanar is the easiest one, in my opinion. But Botanica is, I mean, they're all fucking easy, right? I mean, these are like normal mode dungeons. Yeah, basically, yeah, for like my guide version of this is I replace every single instance of farm with buy. And then everything else is pretty much all the same.
Labyrinth is also a great dungeon for Marks of Sargeras and Fell Armament drops, and will increase your lower city rep if you're trying to reach Exalted, since you should already be revered with them from earlier. If you're still looking for reputation with the Consortium, you can also take time to gather more war beads, but that will really slow down your approach to 70, so I suggest at this point...
Wait a minute, I thought war beads was the Kernyai. It's both? Oh, really? I didn't know that. Damn, that's crazy.
To focus on your Shatar and Aldor or Scryer rep by farming these dungeons or locations for armaments, tomes, signets, and marked drops until you finally reach that max level of 70.
Okay.
At max level, you should be one Shattered Hall's run away from Revered with Honor Hold or Thrallmar. Cenarian Expedition, Lower City, and Keepers of Time should all be at Revered. Your Aldor or Scryers and Shatar reputation should all be at Revered, if not very close to it. The only one that is likely honored with a little ways to go is the Consortium, but that really depends on how many Obsidian War Beads you were able to collect.
You can farm that shit
as really put extra effort on the Consortium, that faction could also be at Revered at this time. With your reputations at this level, you likely have good enough gear to start running a few heroic dungeons to further increase your reputation to Exalted. You also have access to everything you need to finish your Karazhan attunement if you couldn't complete it before 70. Now, all you gotta do is start pushing these factions to Exalted through many heroic dungeon runs, daily quests, and maybe start getting in those first Karazhan attempts.
Bro, Karazhan's not going to be that hard. Like, I gotta be honest. Like, I honestly think that as soon as we can, like, I'm planning on, all right, so this is kind of like, this is like what my timeline is. Like, I do Karazhan on Saturday. Like, I want to do it on Saturday. Because that way, we got the whole day to do it, and then on Sunday, that's whenever I go and I do the 25-mans. I do the 25-mans, I do Gruul, and then I do Magtheridon. Now, I don't really care about Magtheridon that much, and if we don't kill Magtheridon on the first week, I don't really give a shit. But I do care about killing Gruul because he has the trinket that I want, and there's also the gloves. And Magtheridon only has like one item I do want, but it's not that big of a deal. And beta PTSD, yeah, it's because also I don't want to organize Magtheridon, man. Like, I just like Gruul, you just go in there, spread out when he does the thing that knocks you up in the air, and just hit the boss, okay? It's much simpler, man. Magtheridon has the bag. The bag's 20 slot. Who gives a fuck? I'm going to buy all the bags from Harris Pilton anyway. And that's 22. Spam instances till you're done. The thing is, like, leveling in MMOs is always, like, to some degree recursive. In Burning Crusade, obviously what I'm trying to do is level as fast as I can. That's clearly what my goal is. Obviously, like, some people are going to try to do the quests and everything like that, but my goal is to level as fast as I can.
Very much for watching this guide on leveling for reputation. I truly hope this helps some of you navigate the muddy waters that is faction reputation in the Burning Crusade, as it can be a bit daunting.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this guide, please give it a like, subscribe, and click on that bell to be notified of new content I create for Classic TBC. You can follow me on Twitter at Icosiol Classic WoW, where I talk all things classic. For some of my other content, you can click on any of these links here. Thank you again for watching, and here's to hoping I crunched my numbers right for this video, because man, I'm not going to hear the end of it if I mess this up.
Give me a second. Let me just pause this real quick and read a couple of the comments and see if anybody else has their input as well. Let's see. A lot of comparisons. Dungeon Farm strategy, a strategy I'm reading. I think everything works out. Very well organized. Yeah, I think this video is actually really good. If mods want to link this video in chat, that'd be ideal, right? Because I do think that it's a good video. I like it a lot, man. The guy put a lot of work into it. I feel like I'm watching how it's made and I dig it. Yeah. This was good. Overall, it was a good video.